Hello and welcome to Wednesday Newsday, your #1 resource for the entire week's worth of VR news, no matter the day. ViveCon gets closer every day as 2 new headsets seem likely to be announced soon, and I may have details on what to expect. Facebook purchases another successful VR game developer, and let's talk about Zenith, a new SAO-looking VR MMORPG. That and so much more, let's just get right into the news. Some really exciting news regarding VRCover. Last year, I collaborated with VRCover to bring an exclusive pink Oculus Quest 2 facial interface, and it sold out within about 20 minutes. Well, we've brought it back, and it's currently on the VRCover store as we speak. I'm not sure how many there are this time around, but it is finite, so if you missed out last time, link is in the description for it. Super excited and honored to have the opportunity to work with VRCover and make something awesome. One more thing, I actually have 2 of these VRCovers signed that I'm giving away on my Twitch, so come on over for a chance to get one of those for totally free. Moving on, Facebook has been buying up VR game studios left and right for the past few years. First, they purchased Beat Games, developers of course, Beat Saber, then Sansaru Games, the developers of Asgard's Wrath, and then Ready at Dawn, developers of Lone Echo and Echo Arena, and now the agenda has been further pushed by the recent acquisition of Downpour Interactive, developer of Onward, one of the largest VR first-person shooters out there. So yeah, they've been buying up a lot. Now, I'm not gonna lie, watching Facebook outright buy all of these studios is sort of bittersweet. I know these studios are incredibly talented, they've worked really hard, and they've made incredible games, and I know for a fact that every studio I just listed is capable of making VR games that can define an entire generation of gaming. It's really an all-star cast of VR game developers, and I also know that through Facebook, these studios will likely have a level of funding and resources to create those next-level VR experiences that they couldn't even come close to before. To put it simply, Facebook has a lot of money for this stuff, obviously, but this is also pretty scary. So I love all of these developers and their games, but does this mean that all of these studios are pretty much only making Oculus exclusive content moving forward? I mean, that's not what happened with Beat Games, but still. Look, I love using my Quest 2, but I primarily use Steam VR for things, and I know there are a lot of people that are the same. At this point, it pretty much seems like Facebook is trying to nab up as many successful developers as possible, and to keep them for themselves. And I don't know, I just don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I know these teams will likely crush whatever project they're put on, and they'll make incredible games. I guess I just hope Facebook ownership doesn't mean that the studios are creatively restrained. And I surely hope that Facebook ownership doesn't mean that these studios' future games are only Oculus exclusive. But there's no saying either way. The bigger question really should be, who's next? Who's gonna get bought next? But we'll have to see. Now we have to talk about HTC's new headsets coming soon. And yeah, that's right, headsets plural. More than likely there are multiple coming. But some background information. On May 11th and 12th of this year, HTC will be holding an event called ViveCon. A quick description from HTC, quote, "Take a front row seat at the VR event of the year, as HTC Vive unveils game-changing VR headset software and platforms to take your experience to another level," end quote. But most importantly, they'll be announcing 2 new headsets that should be on the first day, May 11th. And that likely means another Wednesday Newsday next week since the event is on a Tuesday, but I will be streaming for the event. We don't have much concrete information other than pictures that HTC has leaked themselves on Twitter, but more and more pictures have been popping up, including this one that shows the bottom of the headset in quite a bit more detail. And that's really all that we have from HTC so far, but an article from Protocol provides details on both headsets, including price and capability. And I gotta say, if these leaks from Protocol are true and you were hoping for something or anything to compete with the Quest 2 on the consumer level, you may be sorely disappointed. For one, it seems there's a general air of enterprise or business class VR, which is usually pretty detached from consumer VR in multiple ways from price, capability, and support. That's assuming you can even buy these headsets as a consumer. Sometimes business headsets are only sold to businesses, which would suck, but here are the details we think we know. One of the headsets seems to be a Vive Pro 2, which I'm all down for. Right now, I'm currently looking for a replacement for my Valve Index if it existed, and a new Vive Pro, if it hits all the right boxes, maybe just that. There are no specs on the headset yet, but the leaked price places it at $1,012, which I guess makes about sense. Personally, from this headset, I'm hoping for either hybrid tracking or laser tracking, eye tracking like the Vive Pro Eye, built-in face tracking, a higher resolution panel, high refresh rate, and WiGig wireless support. Controller-wise, well, just do better than the Cosmos, please, and retire the Vive ones. If HTC can pack everything I said into a $1,000 package, then I can actually see this Vive 2 Pro being a really strong choice for PC VR enthusiasts and businesses looking for a good PC VR solution. $1,000 is a lot, but it could be worse. And I mean, it really could be worse because the other leaked details of Vive Focus 3, essentially the third iteration of HTC's standalone headset, the Focus, which is really interesting by the way. The older Focus Plus from a while ago actually beat the Quest to market, had supported wireless PC VR streaming built in, and had other features way before the Quest and Quest 2, but it's always been way too expensive, costing around $1,000, and it's never been marketed towards consumers, always enterprise. So the HTC Vive Focus 3 supposedly will launch for $1,770. What? Oh man, hopefully this thing's packing some XR3 chip or something crazy that we don't know about. There's gotta be a reason why it costs so much. Of course, these prices and names could be wrong, but they were leaked on AlzaShop, a European e-commerce website, and were quickly taken down. And given HTC's hints that they're getting back to business, it's pretty easy to believe these leaks. All I'm saying is if you're looking forward to some magical HTC Quest 2 competitor that competes at the consumer level price-wise and performance-wise, don't get too excited. Judging off the information we have so far, two $1,000+ devices. I will say though, just do yourself a favor and don't get your hopes up too high. I'm not so sure about this Focus 3. $1,700 for a standalone headset sounds pretty absurd, unless it's packing some crazy features. And HTC is gonna have to pull out some really impressive stunts on this Vive Pro 2 as well. That $1,000 market is really competitive with the Index, HP Reverb G2, G2 Omnicept, and the upcoming Deca Gear. Either way, we'll see on the 11th. According to these leaks, these headsets will also be available May 20th, so we'll see. But now it's time for a meme break! You ever have one of these moments where VR just blows your socks off with how realistic it can be? Whoa, VR is so realistic. And now, back to the news. So, Overwatch is one of my favorite games of all time to play competitively, and I've been dreaming of a solid hero-based team shooter in VR since I put on my first VR headset. I honestly haven't cared whether it's a Valorant-style game, or Paladins, or Overwatch, or TF2, and actually a TF3 VR would be sick, but that's besides the point. It looks like we're finally getting a hero shooter in VR. This is Larcenauts. Wait, Larcenauts? Kind of a weird name, not gonna lie, but the point stands. From the developers of Farpoint, Larcenauts is a class-based multiplayer hero shooter, and it looks really impressive. It's the kind of game I've been waiting for so long, and I'm excited that it's finally coming in some form. Even better is that this game's coming this summer to Quest and PC VR, and it will support cross-buy and cross-play between platforms, which is great. They're doing things right here. Throughout the month, Upload VR will be doing various interviews and coverage on the game, which is awesome, so if you're interested, then check that out. More on gaming, the game that's been playing in the background this whole time has been Zenith, the highly anticipated upcoming VR MMORPG. I've been playing in the closed alpha and streaming it quite a bit, and I just gotta say, it's been a blast. The game is still a little rough and in its early stages, but for an MMO in VR, it's pretty good. And it definitely gives me those SAO vibes, which I can appreciate completely. Still lots of work to be done in the future, but like I said, the game's only in alpha at the moment. But if you're looking for some quick first impressions, then here you go. I actually have drops on my Twitch for the game, so if you're interested in getting it, then stop on by. And also, geez, I don't mean to be plugging the Twitch so much, there's just a lot going over there recently. One of the more exciting VR peripherals recently announced is a sweet new motion simulator chair from Yaw with the Yaw 2. We've seen the Yaw on the internet before in reviews and other videos, and yeah, it's cool, but the sequel looks a lot cooler, and I actually really want one of these. This is the Yaw 2, and it's recently been posted on Kickstarter where it absolutely destroyed its initial funding goal of just $100,000 by raising more than $1 million within the first week. This is obviously a device that people want, including me, I think. Just imagine playing Microsoft Flight Simulator or Dirt Rally 2 in VR with a motion seat like this in your own home. Sounds insane. Of course, it does get really pricey really fast if you want this setup, as all the early bird specials are pretty much gone, but the Kickstarter is still going. And personally, I'm looking forward to seeing this. One of their Kickstarter goals for 1.5 million earned is a gyro balancing cup holder, so your beer will always be safe no matter how bad you're flying or driving in VR. Hopefully, I'll be able to review this on the channel, but either way, estimated delivery of these chairs seem to be around September of this year. But now it's time for question of the week. By the way, I'd just leave question of the week in the YouTube comment section. Higher chance I'll see it there, but for this time, from Runt Gaming. Do you think Oculus could come out with new controllers for the Quest 2, for example, to keep up with PS5's haptics or the Deca Gears? And yeah, totally. In fact, it's not a bad idea. Keep the XR2 and other hardware running and cheap while upgrading the peripheral and controller experience. It's a good plan, and would lead to more consumers keeping their headsets for longer, which leads to less waste for the environment, more value out of a device. I mean, it's all positive for the consumer and the environment. I just don't know if I see Facebook doing that because they don't really care about either of those things a lot of times. But I feel you. I'd love to have a VR controller that uses the PS5's force feedback trigger. It's amazing. And that's question of the week. Make sure to leave your own below. I may just answer yours next, and stop by the stream today on Twitch. I will be doing that VR cover giveaway, so yeah, stop on by. Also, join up in my Discord server for the best VR community on the planet. I just want to say thank you to all of my Patreon supporters, especially my Omegas, like Atomally, Benji, Biz, CPCJ79, Destroyer Biscuit, Fur Trap, Fusion Oak, HCG Randon, It's Lumi, Jonathan William, KR, Lucid VR, Mud King, Ronzarelli, Skirt Cobain, That Brockeye, Very Evil Shadow, Zale, and Zale. I couldn't do any of this without you. Don't forget to like this video if you loved it, subscribe if you want more of this, and hit that freaking bell if you just can't live without it. Much love, Thrill out.